off-roading. It's nothing like forging through the elements. Just you and your machine. I could have done it myself.
Howdy! Welcome to our humble little junkyard gang. Well, the war continues. We've got 2 more teams vying for the Junkyard Wars trophy. Now, of course, all they have to do is take all the garbage here from the yard, build something cool.
Today's challenge is to build an all-terrain vehicle, which we're going to put to the test on the ultimate off-road course. Now, we're also going to make it a relay race, so it's once round the course for everyone. Whoever crosses the line first will be through to the semi-finals. First up in the red corner, we have Californian flamethrowers Cal, Chris and Risto. They're movie special effects gurus known as Damage.
Hi, I'm Christian Risto, captain of Team Damage. I tell you, when I'm not busy building robots and monsters for big-budget movies, I spend just about all of my time building huge, radio-controlled, machine-destroying robots.
Hi, my name is John Criswell. I live in the Los Angeles area, and I'm an expert at animatronics.
My name is Cal Speletich, and I build machines and robots that I let my audience operate.
And just in case any of you are wondering why we're called Team Damage, maybe I can give you an idea. These robots are built for one purpose only: damaging other machines.
To keep Damage out of trouble, we've an expert who's really off the road, mechanical maestro James Aduskovich. He's a bit of a car god and loves anything he can attach a motor to. So watch out, this team's a lethal cocktail.
In the green corner, attempting to ram Damage off the road, are farmers' boys Brian, Terry, and Greg. There's family pride at stake here. Welcome to the Brothers Long.
Hi, my name's Greg Long. Our team consists of 3 brothers who grew up on a dairy farm near Tyrone in central Pennsylvania.
Hi, my name's Terry. I'm the second member of the Long team.
Our 3rd team member and captain of the team is Brian. He left the U.S. about 5 years ago and moved to Warwickshire, England.
Hi, my name's Brian Long, captain of the Long Brothers. No team can be stronger than a family team. And we've built a lot of crazy machines in the past. The Junkyard Wars, whatever you want to throw at us, we're ready. Bring it on.
Well, to help the Brothers Long is off-road fanatic Mike Ferguson. Good news, because a few years back, Fergie was IndyCar Fabricator of the Year. You can bet these teams can't wait to get their hands dirty. All right, teams, your challenge today is to build an all-terrain vehicle. Yeah. We're not talking about some sissy-doing buggy or anything like that. We're talking something big and ugly and fast, because tomorrow you're going to be racing them. Now, we're going to have some dirt, some sand, maybe a few rocks, but we can guarantee some mud.
OK, teams, you have 10 hours from when the ball hits the bottom of the junkyard tiger to build your magnificent machines.
Wait for it. Easy. Easy.
Go! In keeping with Junkyard Wars tradition, our teams have been given separate workshops. But before they're allowed to build their off-roaders, they have to devise a plan.
All right, now we got to build an off-road car. Something to go fast off-road. Now, cars aren't meant for this, so we're going to have to do a Frankenstein here. We need a big motor from some car. We need a small car to stuff it in.
The Damage plan is to weld together 2 cars. They're hoping to find a rough and tough road car to use as their base vehicle. They'll strip it bare to reduce weight and so maximise their speed. But they still need a powerful engine. So then they'll find another donor car from which they'll take the engine and drive unit. They'll graft this whole chunk onto car number 1, so the front wheels of the donor car will become the back driving wheels of the off-roader.
Get out there and look for something like a Mini or a Volkswagen Bug. That'll be the first thing we want to get in here, is the small car. So James and I can start ripping it apart. Big car should be front-wheel drive, have an engine in it. We need to make sure that engine works. We don't want to get screwed for time by finding out that we got an engine back in here that doesn't work. So you guys got it?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
Right. Good.
Over the wall, the Long brothers are hatching their plan.
I kind of envisioned making the thing kind of like a sand rail or a rock crawling Jeep. The lighter we can make it, the happier we're going to be going through mud, over water, sand, anything else.
The brothers Long plan to build their off-roader chassis frame from scratch. They want to unite the front wheels from one car with the rear wheels and drive shaft from another, using light but strong tubes or rails. They'll mount their engine, probably from a motorbike, in the middle of the whole vehicle.
So we need some pretty decent power in this thing.
Smallest, lightest, highest horsepower motor we can find. Keep enough weight over the rear axles where the thing gets traction. Put the person up to the front, which will make it more fun because you're sitting closer to the front end. And
How fast is this going to go?
depends on how big the track is, how brave we are. Yeah.
Okay, let's go do it.
So, with each team carefully working out a plan, the frantic scrounge for spare parts in the yard begins. We've given the teams quad bikes to help them with their hunt, but they're under strict instructions not to tear them apart. That's cheating, and we'll be watching them closely. Because neither team knows what the other is looking for, speed is the key. The winning strategy is to get the best stuff before the other guys do, and we all like a winner.
Well, it's looking good, isn't it? Good designs, getting dirty, getting down to business.
I can't wait to hear something run.
I know, me
Oh,
neither.
it's going to be good. So why don't you guys stick around, and when we come back, we're going to see what kind of monstrosities they're beginning to build. Welcome back, my fellow junkyard dogs. All right, the Long brothers and Damage are both out scrounging through the yard right now trying to find stuff for their machines, but it looks like they've finally decided what their racers are going to look like.
The Pennsylvanian brothers Long are frantically searching for parts for their off-roader. They're planning to build a kind of gas-powered car skeleton right from scratch, a tricky task in the time, but it'll be light and could fly down the long straights on our test track tomorrow.
There's some other pipe we might be able to use. We got a full set of 26
Their Californian rivals, the Damage Gang, are storming ahead. They're making a true bug-style buggy and have already uncovered a genuine Volkswagen Bug for starters.
All right.
Okay, next.
We've got our victim. Is there any motor in there?
No, there's no engine here.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll definitely need that front-wheel driver then.
Yep.
All right, great.
Their Bug has no engine, but Cal's found an ideal motor in this Oldsmobile, and it works too. So with less than an hour gone, Team Damage has already dug up their two key components.
How's it going? And it drives.
Oh, yeah.
Their finished vehicle will be heavy but hard-wearing and nice and stable on the test track corners. Team Damage, living up to their name.
Try going all the way back.
Damage?
Yeah.
You're making your own junk shop, it seems.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There won't be much left of this thing when we're done with it.
Captain, let go of the car a minute. Come and tell me what your plan is.
Sorry?
Come and tell me what
What the plan
what's
is?
going on here.
Well, essentially, we're going to Frankenstein these two cars together.
Right. It's going to be a Franken off-road
That's
vehicle.
right. It's going to be Franken car. This car is going to lose just about everything except for its frame,
Right.
rails, and front end. Essentially, pull up everything else. We don't need it. We're going to try to keep our weight down. So this is all going away.
Right.
This is front-wheel drive. So essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to treat this as one entire unit.
Right.
Engine to wheels, tranny, everything. Leave it all together.
Right.
Don't separate it. It works. It drove itself in here. It's perfect. So these tires, which are the front tires of this thing, now are going to
be the
become the
back
rear
tires.
drive tires of that thing.
Brilliant. Team name, where does the team name come from? Because it's Damage, isn't it? But it's not that you've spelt it wrong.
No,
Because some people might think that.
No. It stands for the Dominant Agency of Mechanical Misappropriation and General Entropy.
That just rides off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I've been practicing. These other teams are gonna walk away glad that they were only damaged.
Oh.
That's right.
Out on the yard, the Long brothers are getting a little desperate. For Greg and Terry, it's mission impossible.
On your motors, you want to be looking for
Motorcycles or light VWs, anything light.
Okay, 10-4.
Catch up here.
All right, guys. How you doing? Good. How are you doing? That's the question.
We don't know yet. We don't have anything yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you got so far? What did you?
What we're planning on doing is building something like light and powerful. I'm just gonna, instead of trying to run through the course, we're gonna try and run over the course, run over the water, run over the mud, run over the tops of the bumps.
Instead of dipping through the rocks, you just want to glide across. Just glide.
So kind of what we're looking for is like the biggest motorcycle motor we can find. We're looking for like sub-assemblies, rear ends that are all together.
So you're thinking about doing like a sand rail kind of setup?
Yeah, like sand rail, stadium racing, buggy sort of thing.
Engine behind you, little skinny wheels up front, big tires in the back.
That's us.
Hey guys, would a Honda bike do us any good?
Honda bike.
What kind?
What's it look like?
Looks like somebody was going about 110 and crashed.
That's perfect. You want 110 once, you can do 110 again.
Hey, what? Let me take a look at the motor and stuff here, see if anything's hurt.
We'll tell you what, you guys got to get back to work, so I'm going to disappear for a while and go get them, okay?
Thank you much.
Here we go.
And now for a little bit of history. The off-road revolution began way back in the 1940s with the unbreakable four-wheel drive Army Jeep. Modern off-roaders are just as tough and real speed freaks. Some of them can even drive on water. But this is nothing compared with the ultimate off-road expedition, to the moon. Forget rocket science, it was the four-wheel force that was the real giant leap for mankind.
This is one of the fastest maneuvers I've made in a long time. What a ride, what a ride.
So there are many different types of off-roader, but they all obey the same basic design principle. Large engines are powerful but need a heavy car to support them. Small engines need less support but don't have much punch. So whatever the basic frame design, there's an important balance, maximising power while minimising weight. It's something both our teams will have to bear in mind.
Where's the sound of the quad bike?
Right here.
In the junkyard, you can hear a big sigh of relief as the brothers Long have at last found something useful, their all-important power source.
Oh, this is what we need.
Why don't we just roll it in?
Yep. Easier than loading it.
It's a Honda 1000cc, small as engines go, but on the bike it gave a top speed of 157 miles an hour, and that's plenty of power for their super light sand rail design. There's still a lot of work to be done to make sense of it all. This high-tech import engine is a maze of wires and cables.
If we can just cut off, like the neck, cut off the rear trailing link, and strip everything away, then we can just mount off it here.
Yeah! Over the fence, Damage are living up to their name. They're ruthlessly stripping the excess weight from their V-dub. And have begun to release the super powerful 3.2-liter V6 engine from their stubborn old donor vehicle.
Starting to look like a dune buggy.
But before they can put the engine in place, they have to remove the bug's back wheels. Not a problem for a team named Damage.
There we go. That's access.
I have to say that there was a period of about a millisecond when I wondered why Team Damage were called Team Damage. But now, it's just all too clear, isn't it?
They're just, it's amazing. It's like every 2 seconds, they're like hacksawing something else. I mean, you can kind of see from this setup over here, they've just got like tons of machinery, and they're just tearing things apart.
It's
very clean and very pristine.
Well, they're good, clean boys, I think, the Long brothers. Whereas the Damage boy are mean, ugly, brutish.
Oh, but see, they're brothers, so it's, I mean, you can count the time before they start fighting.
That's true.
The infighting is going to begin. It's just a matter of time.
Hey, I may have a drive unit here that'll work.
Far from fighting, the Long brothers are working like a well-oiled machine. Greg's found a rear drive unit for their rail.
Is it going to be a big job to take it out? I don't think it's going to be too bad.
The brothers, on a demolition mission, clearly have a family history of car sabotage.
It's true, when we're brothers, we just read each other's minds.
That's pretty heavy, though.
While the rear unit's driven home, Fergie's freeing up the engine.
What we're looking at, we got 4 tires here.
There's no stopping Scavenger Greg. He's found the perfect front axle.
But why don't we flip the thing over and you can pull the beam out?
What?
Cool.
Team Damage bad habits are clearly rubbing off on the brothers.
Excellent.
At last, the brothers Long have their key parts, but it's taken them 3 hours, and the junkyard clock ticks on.
Over in the enemy camp, Damage are planning their next engine-moving maneuver.
Well, right now we're working on removing the tranny. Once that's out of there, we can start looking at the subframe on the other car and figuring out how to mount that into the chassis.
The best place to put an engine in an off-roader is in the middle, because its weight helps keep the vehicle stable and all the wheels on the ground. But because Damage chose to adapt an existing road car, they can't do that. So instead, they'll do the next best thing. Put the engine's weight right over the rear driving wheels. This will give them added traction, but they'll have to be careful not to make the car too back heavy.
Team Damage are moving pretty fast. The whole team needs to work together to remove their powerful V6 engine. Not even the rain can stop them. And that's nice, because there's no time for stoppages when you're racing against the junkyard clock.
Yeah, awesome.
So both our intrepid teams seem to be making progress, but no junkyard wars would be complete without words of wisdom from an impartial judge. And who better than 16 times winner of the Baja 1000, Rod Hall.
You made it. Oh, once again.
Rod, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, George, well, it's kind of nice to be here.
So, you've seen both the teams. You look over here at Damage. Tell us what they're doing.
Well, you know, they got a unique concept. They're putting this big Oldsmobile engine in the Volkswagen. So I think there might be a problem with too much weight in the back. So when they squeeze the throttle, the front wheels come off the ground. So they're going to have to figure out how they're going to steer it, maybe with the front tires in the air.
Heavy in the booty.
Heavy
like
in the boot. That's right.
Okay, now what do you think is going to be the advantage of this style?
Well, the concept is proven because the Baja Bug works good, the Oldsmobile runs good, so the drivetrain we know works. Whether when you put them together they work, that's going to be the question.
Damage is going a little more tried and true.
Yes.
However, we've got the Long brothers now.
Yes.
Now, what style of vehicle have they chosen?
Well, they chose to build more of a rail, a hand-built vehicle. The engine apparently is going to be a motorcycle engine. It's going to be sort of in the middle between the front and rear tires, so they should get good weight transfer with that vehicle. But they got to start from scratch to build the frame and put it all together, and I'm not sure the clock won't win.
You're from Reno, right?
Yes, sir.
You're a betting man.
Yeah, I'm from Gambling State,
You have got
yes.
the mortgage to the house in your hand.
Okay.
The money from the bank.
Uh-huh.
Long brothers or Damage? Who you put the money on right now at this moment in time?
Well, I'm going to go with the team that I think that the Damage team right now has the advantage.
Well, we'll check back, and you can change your mind.
That's right, and I want you to know I can change my mind. All right?
It's going to be an off-center pick, but...
Damage still have a lot of work to do. They're carefully lining up their oversized, overpowered engine with the frame of the Volkswagen Bug.
Go backwards. Yeah, we got to move the whole car over the passenger side.
Now, it needs to be a precision job. They can't afford to be even an inch out, as this would make their finished vehicle very unstable and liable to fall apart.
Well, let's drop it down about 2 more inches, get it to about the right spot.
Well, we're in the right hood. We're in the right neighborhood, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're pretty close there.
For one thing.
It's the most crucial part of their build. While they're thinking, the clock ticks on.
On the green side of the divide, the brothers' Long vehicle is just beginning to take shape. They've positioned the front and rear wheels at either end and are welding them to the rail frame, which they hope will hold the car together.
Long brothers. Does this beast run? That's got to be the big question.
That's what we're trying to do right now.
Is it? You're about to fire her up. What's your plan if it doesn't?
Plan B is to get this running as well.
So plans A to Z are all get this baby going.
Yeah.
Okay, power up.
Got a red black and a solid red. Where do they end up?
Here, the brothers face a real dilemma. The bike's high-tech ignition is so complex, it's difficult to know which are the correct starter wires.
Yeah, with these electronic ignitions and stuff, you'll blow them real easy.
Blow chip real quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where do we go?
Now there's something else wrong with their junkyard reject.
Whoa. We're leaking fuel.
Will the brothers Long get their engine to run?
Or will Team Damage's working Oldsmobile be a winner before the race has even begun?
Join us after the break.
What brings next Wednesday? The heat is on and the stakes are high as the Junkyard Warriors move into the semifinals. Don't miss the action when tonight's winners take on last week's champions in 2 scrap-smashing showdowns. Fits, deep-sea dives, and hovercrafts. See sparks fly as they battle their way to the top of the scrap heap. Finally, there's good trash on television.
Thanks, George.
Don't miss all new episodes of Junkyard Wars next Wednesday at 9, only on TLC.
Welcome back to our junkyard, where 2 warring factions of engineering whiz kids are battling it out to build the fastest, meanest, ugliest off-road vehicle out of nothing but trash.
That's going to be our kill switch. That's probably a ground.
In the green corner, Pennsylvania farm boys, the brothers Long, are still struggling to breathe life into the troubled engine they found to power their sandrail.
While in the red corner, it all appears to be going smoothly for Californian special effects gurus Team Damage and their Baja buggy off-roader design.
Now, with the doors off, we eventually want to cut the roof off to be able to put a roll cage in real easy.
Yeah.
We can add some braces in place of the doors to take the place of the structure of the roof. Possibly even diagonal. Try to get a diagonal in there to strengthen up a little bit more. If it's an X, that'd be even better. Then we'd have a low spot in the middle. The feet would pop right out.
Awesome. I like that idea. There you go.
Cal puts in the safety bars where the doors used to be and then gets on with damaging the roof. Keeping it light will be the key to their success.
All right, you got it?
Yep.
Just flip her over.
With 5 hours gone, it's halfway through the day, and the Long brothers are just about ready to give up.
One more time, baby.
Good idle.
Yes.
Gentlemen! The Long Brothers, ladies and gentlemen! Very nice. Now, what? That looks like just a little bit of relief on your face. Definitely. Come on, right there. All right, get back to it, man. You got a lot of work to do.
Let's grab this thing.
Now that the Long brothers know their engine works, they need to connect it to the drive shaft powering the rear wheels. But it's not as simple as it sounds.
Scoot it over this way. They come our way about 7-8 inches.
A motorbike engine is usually connected to its wheels via a chain, just like on a bicycle. But in a car, the wheels are driven via a shaft. So the team will have to remove the chain and somehow connect the car drive shaft to the bike drive sprocket. That means the bike has to go sideways. So now the crucial moment, getting the measurements exact.
Here, let's put this across so we have something solid.
Is it within a 16th of an inch?
Tell you what, that doesn't look bad.
All right. Begin your panic now. You have only 4 hours left. That's right, 4 hours.
After 2 hours of struggling to position their engine correctly, Damage are working out how to weld together their 2 component cars. If they're not careful, this could be the weakest part of their machine.
Well, Rod, the clock ticks on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the clock's running pretty fast for a couple of teams here. The Long Brothers, in essence, has a long ways to go, right? One of the problems is that they got to hook up that motorcycle engine that's sitting sideways in the frame to get the power from the engine to the rear end. And it's got to be precise alignment, because when you start spinning that drive shaft, you better have it lined up right, or probably either the motorcycle engine is coming out of the car or the drive shaft's coming out.
So that's the biggest hurdle.
Well, that's one of them. But, you know, looking at that car there right now, it's like a puzzle. You know, when you start putting a puzzle together, there's lots of pieces everywhere. And when you get down towards the end, they just start falling together.
Right.
Maybe that'll happen.
Okay, now with damage, what do you think is their biggest obstacle to overcome at this point?
Well, I do think making the rear structure strong enough, hooked up to the Volkswagen body and chassis to keep it all in there when they take off.
All right, so you got the macho American motor over here, and you've got the high-strung import bike motor here.
Yeah.
Chips are down. Who are you going for?
Well, I'm still not changing my mind yet. I still got a feeling that maybe Damage Team has a slight edge right at the moment. But we'll see. We've still got a few hours to go. The rain stops. Who knows what's going to happen, right?
Less than 3 hours to go, and it's time to give each team their safety seat.
Longest? I have a present for you.
Whoa, man!
Oh, it's just what you wanted. Look, green, too.
Great.
Right, remember, we've got to get in and out real quick.
Because their motorbike engine pokes out one side of their sandrail, they have to balance this with the weight of the driver on the other side, so their seat goes in off-centre too. After some final touches to strengthen the frame and fit nice spongy tyres, the team are now ready to test their drive shaft. If it doesn't work now, it's game over.
How's that look up there? Pretty true.
Actually, it looks pretty good. You know, in all reality, it looks like it was meant to be that way.
It was.
Much as we admire your upholstery on your current seat, there are sadly a few safety regulations, and this is one of them. But rather than spring it on you at the last minute, we thought we'd give it to you now, and you can maybe do a bit of decoration or something.
Well, that's nice. We'll have
Does
to
that
get
work?
some of the horsehair sticking out just like the old seat, but
Give
we'll
it that
make it
old
work.
feel. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so. Teams, you have 2 hours remaining. 2 hours construction time remaining. Thank you.
So polite. Let's have the dirt on damage.
Not a lot of dirt, actually. I mean, they talk tough, but actually, when push comes to shove, they're quite nice boys, really, I think.
You know, the true test is going to be at the end of the day where they're going to fire it up and it's going to be this great-looking machine, and they're going to, like, press the gas pedal and the entire butt end of the car is just going to fall off. That's my fear for damage.
I don't know if that is your fear. I think that there was a look of relish in your face as you said that.
I'm rooting for both teams.
Are you?
Equally. We're nonpartisan here.
Of course we are. What about the Long Brothers?
I was nervous the entire day. You know, I've said it that I couldn't figure out how they were going to get that engine, get some power to the rear. And they actually came up with a most ingenious way.
It is ingenious, isn't it?
Yeah, they got this like rubber-mounted yoke-y
Thingy
thing.
on the twizzly thing and down the end.
It's technically a doohickey.
Well, we've got most everything mounted. The motor's in there, and it's solid. It's attached to the chassis. We got our roll cage pretty much done. Now it's just a matter of hooking up all the wires, the cables, and making sure this thing runs.
With pressure mounting, it's tempting to abandon precision, but the throttle cable's an essential.
I think there's a bad kink in that throttle cable where it comes out of the chassis. I think it got nipped by the cutoff saw.
I see that, and I'm kind of holding it by hand to fix that.
Have you fired the motor up yet in the car?
Not in the car. We have.
Good. Okay, excellent.
It ran in here, though, didn't it?
We drove the engine right
Can you
into
see
here.
the sun on the horizon right there? It's getting kind of low.
Can't even see it.
All right.
They've got a lot to do.
I think so.
Should we go and talk to the winning
Let's
team?
go. Let's go. You did not say that.
You know, we do it to them too.
All right, we're going to go harass them too.
Ciao.
In a bit.
Good luck. So what have we got left to do? Are we feeling like we've got time to finish it?
The big things, technically, we still need to put the clutch in it and put a steering wheel on it.
Do you guys have brakes for your car?
Yes.
Good.
We each have 2 of them.
Flintstone brake.
Okay. You've got 1 hour left, kiddies, so get to it. 1
It's going to be a frantic rush to get the accelerator and brake pedals in place and the roll bar finished.
Damage are also feeling the heat. They still need a couple of last-minute spare parts from the yard.
What's your 20? What's going on?
Locating 2 switches for the buggy.
Excellent. Keep up the good work.
Okay, so now the race begins. You think the Long Brothers car is going to be faster?
I think they'll lead the first lap or so, just because of by design, the weight, and the characteristics of the car. But in order to be the first guy to the checkered flag, you got to get there. And I believe the durability of the Damage team will win the race. If it was 1 lap, I'd have to change my mind. 2 laps, I wouldn't know. 4 laps, I'm still going with the Damage team.
All right, well, let's see if you have to eat your words.
Guys, 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes.
No problem.
Time is running out. The brothers rush to finish their steering.
Down there, I'm going to put a couple tacks on it. It's perfect.
In the final 10 minutes, Damage are frantically welding for additional strength.
What do you think?
Absolutely frantic, isn't it? I love this bit where just like all 8 people are.
It's getting there right now. I really like it that Bristo's finally, the cowboy hat's off. He's greasy, he's dirty, and he's panting.
I just think it looks so fantastic. The Frankenbug. It's just so ugly and ridiculous.
You mean you don't like the sideways motorcycle? It sort of looks like there was a collision and the bike ran into the car and they went, leave it there.
Yeah, it works.
Terry, you need a tack up here.
With only 5 minutes to go, the Long Brothers have just one more rail to weld, the one holding the safety fuel tank.
And last but not least, it's those all-essential final touches to the Damage vehicle.
Teams, your time is up.
All right, put down your wrenches. Set down the weapons, gentlemen. You've all worked very hard. You deserve some rest because tomorrow we're gonna race.
Yeah.
Good team effort.
So, will Damage's mighty Frankenbug, a barely recognizable shell of a V-dub grafted onto a monster 3.2-liter engine, hold itself together to cruise to victory?
Woohoo! Or will the Long Brothers' mean green machine, little more than a 1,000cc motorbike parked sideways on a pile of tubes, speed down the home straight to take the checkered flag? Join us after the break.
Howdy, gang, and welcome back to Junkyard Wars. Our teams have finally finished the build, and now it's time to race. Let's go!
Yes. It's a relay race, so each team member will have to race their dream machines round 1 lap of our racetrack.
It's off the start line straight into a racing corner, then through the chicane and into our swampy water hazard. Then another tight bend before decision time, the ditch or the jump. Onto the pits for a changeover. The first team past the finish line goes through to the Junkyard Wars semi-final.
As usual, after our safety checks, we've allowed each team an hour for last-minute tweaks to their vehicles.
You're gonna have to get it tighter than that'll get it. Broken motor mount. One more time.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Just pump and hold. Just pump and hold.
It's tiny adjustments like these which may be the difference between being a winner or a loser.
Okay, we're gonna fire her up here. So flip that on to get both fuel and ignition. Now here's your starter. Okay, go for it. Turn around and bring it back in. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! All right, go ahead and kill the motor. Yeah! Nice.
Woo-hoo!
I have a real good feeling now. Yeah, me too. That thing's gonna fall apart.
So Long Brothers, how did that feel?
It feels wicked, actually. It ought to be just a hoot
Not
train.
the quietest machine in the world, is it?
Well, we weren't going for quiet. Ergonomically, we kind of blew off most of the ruling.
So who's up first?
Right. Well, he looked good for the first
He
time.
did look good, didn't he?
So he'll get out there, get us ahead.
Yeah.
And then we'll go down in the age of order. So Greg will then jump in.
Right. So oldest first.
So oldest first. Then I'll jump in. Then we have Terry here, the real racer, that'll clean us up and win.
Right. Well, good luck.
Thank
Gonna
you.
check out the opposition.
All right.
It shouldn't
Thank
take
you.
long.
Damage. How did that feel? You've had to go in the hot seat now.
Felt good.
Did it?
It's got some perk.
Yeah?
Hitting out a little.
Because you put your foot on the brake and there wasn't a lot of stopping going on, was there?
Who needs a stop? We're not
You're
stopping.
also cavalier
It's
about
all
this.
forward, looking ahead.
But seriously, you're doing something about that, aren't you?
No.
You're really not?
No, that works fine.
So you're just going to skid to a hole
our
with
plan
a
is
wheel lock?
Well, it mostly works in the front brakes when you press the pedal.
Right.
And then we'll let off on the throttle wheel sharp to block the rear brakes so we can use them independently.
So you're up first, and then who's second?
The next victim. We have first and last planned.
So
I'm going to
who's
go first
last?
and figure out the track. He's
You're
going to go
last.
last and break the car.
Why is that? Is that because you're the most crazy driver?
Yeah, I have no fear of this thing.
In the final few moments before the race, we've given the teams the chance to walk the course. It's crucial for strategy.
Like power, acceleration, handling, I think everything we have a beat. So if we can just, like, not break it, we've got them. Yeah, because I don't see any place where they've got an advantage.
We have the advantage of being able to do both the hill or the mud. If they do the mud, they're stuck, they're hanging there, they're flopping around, they're not going anywhere.
That thing ought to handle pretty good.
While both teams are plotting their victory, our judge has one final look over the racers. First up, the Long Brothers sandrail.
It's light, so it should be able to fly and land relatively good for an untested car. And horsepower to weight's going to be awesome. So, I mean, it's going to be like a speeding bullet when they stand on that throttle.
Now this is another engineering feat, the damage vehicle.
It's going to be maybe a heavier car, so it should be able to have a little more control. It's going to be much more predictable, I think. Easy to handle.
All right, so actually, which is kind of neat. There'll be a little driver skill element to this
There'll
as
be
well.
a lot of finesse when it gets down to the end on who's going to be able to control their emotions and drive smart.
Time for the race. The team's experts are first up in the driving seat, and they're psyching themselves up. They're under starters' orders.
All right, guys, the course is ready. Your machines are ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah! First of all, a quick reminder of the rules. It's once round the track for every team member. Whoever gets their first complete team past the checkered flag the first will be the winners.
All right, gentlemen, start your engines. Get ready, and go!
And they're off with Damage just in the lead.
That little Mom's doing a good job in the tight area.
Damage still has the lead on this corner.
Now it's a choice between the water and the jump.
Uh-oh, the Long Brothers are going to go for the jump. They're going to go for it.
So it's Damage in the lead at the end of the first lap, with the Longs so close behind.
Now the all-important first driver changeover. The Long Brothers are quick off the line, but the Damage are not looking too hot.
The greens are go.
Oh, Damage's slow pit stop has cost them the lead. Cal's got a lot of catching up to do. The Long Brothers are doing surprisingly well, and their rail is handling nicely through the turns.
Long Brothers just coming up to the water. Straight through. Damage through as well. It's very close. They seem to have stopped. I'm going to go and check it out.
It's disaster disaster for Damage, but with the race still up for grabs, Cal's teammates rush over to his rescue.
Stole right through the first puddle. Had him. I could have passed him.
He's got a little loss of control, but he's okay. He's back in the pit.
Now the Long brothers have completed their second lap. Next up in the driving seat, it's Captain Brian. It's a really slick changeover for the brothers. And the Longs are off, but it's a disaster. Could this mean Damage could catch up to him?
Cable's off. All right, hold on. We're okay here.
I had him paused.
What actually happened here is the pedal got bent, it seems, but they've got some pliers on hand now, and they think that they're going to be able to repair it.
You know what actually has happened over here is, I think, simultaneously, the gods reached down and did the same thing to both teams because the Long brothers' cable snapped.
So both teams being a little bit heavy-handed, if you'll excuse the expression, on the feet.
Ignition on. All right.
With a magic touch from expert James, Cal's finally on his way. He's only 100 yards from the pit.
I guess they fixed it!
Here, I got it.
But the mean green machine is off. Now Damage have to make this a quick changeover if they have even a slight hope of staying in the race. The Long brothers are really racing right now. They're a quarter lap ahead, but they still can't afford to make a mistake.
Not far behind, and it's all down to Christian's driving skills. He's pushing their bug to the limit. The Greens are in for their final changeover, and they've left their most experienced driver for last, the youngest brother, Terry.
Neck brake.
Okay, we're clear. Go up to there.
But the bug's caught up. Looks like it's all down to the final lap.
Oh, in the excitement, they've stalled. But if they can start it again quickly, the race may not be over yet.
Man, we bent something up good. All right, try it again. Ready? Yeah, I know. Fuck it.
A quick fix from the expert, and they're back racing. Now the Long brothers are in trouble.
Driving it by pulling on the gas pedal cable with his hand.
Which means Terry has only one hand left for steering.
But the course has taken its toll on the Damage machine too. It's still going, but just barely.
Come on, Damage!
Here they come. I gotta have it out. Uh-oh. Can he make it? Right there, baby.
You can see it. It's a Long brothers victory.
All right, stick around, and when we come back, we're going to talk to both of the teams.